guys, I'm back with another book review, and today I've got for you Michio Kaku's The God Equation, The Quest for a Theory of Everything. It's a great book, but I will preface this by saying it is a bit more of an advanced read, so certainly something for you if you're interested in doing physics, perhaps at A-level or university. Now, Michio Kaku, you've probably seen him, you've probably seen some of his video perhaps, and he's a great physicist, and in my opinion, he makes concepts regarding physics, around physics, more interesting and simpler, which I greatly appreciate. With that being said, as you can see from the front cover of the book, The Quest for a Theory of Everything. So the book aims to come up with one equation which can then encompass the whole of physics. Now, that is a mind-boggling, monumental task, I'm sure you'd agree. But the way in which Michio Kaku tries to tackle the problem is to look at, for instance, quantum mechanics and then Einstein's theory of relativity, and then see what happens when we bring them together. And there are sort of issues that arise, disagreements that come out of doing this. And so a potential solution that is then presented is string theory. Now, string theory is the idea that, the universe is made up of subatomic strings which vibrate, and this is sort of similar to sort of strings that we would have on musical instruments, right? And so it's a really interesting book. What I liked about the book especially is that it covers a lot of topics that we may have heard about or read about elsewhere. Things like subatomic particles, the Large Hadron Collider, black holes, for instance. But then it does go into a lot more detail around newer topics. Things that I found particularly interesting were topics around supersymmetry and, for instance, wormholes. And so it's definitely a book with a lot of sort of, ideas and concepts which really get you thinking. Okay. Now, having said all of that, the key takeaway, arguably, from this book for me was when Michio Kaku talks about some of the scientists, namely, in this book, we have the likes of Newton, Einstein, Mendeleev, and Bohr. And, some of these names should ring bells for us because we've seen them in GCSE physics and GCSE chemistry as well. But, one thing that I don't feel we do well enough, and there is a glimpse of this in this book, is we don't look into their sort of life stories, the real trials and tribulations that they have gone through to come up with the discoveries that they've come up with. And so I think that's really important. I think that's a missing part in, our sort of syllabus when we study about these great scientists. And I think it's something we should take on. We should look at their dogged determination. We should look at, what motivated them as well. And I think even if we can sort of learn from that and apply those sort of principles to our own work, then, the question is, what can we achieve for ourselves and those around us? And so with that thought, I'd like to say happy reading, and until next time, take care.